Hey there, Frank. It's David. I really appreciate you going out to the range tonight and having an open mind. As if this is your first time looking at your swing on film, I think it will be beneficial. Now, before I even play the video, what I thought I would do is play some photographs of the before and after so you can really see the difference here. Starting with the posture, as we wanted to work on your fundamentals. I could tell, you hit the ball very well, but like you said, you're a competitive guy. I can notice that, and you did have an occasional miss to the left, sort of that pull draw. So one recommendation was in the setup. Now, if we look at the image on the left, the before, this shows you just how close to the ball you were actually standing. So quite a bit of knee flex, and the hands and the grip of the club are very close to your thighs. So one recommendation that I think will help was to simply back your feet up so that you're standing farther away from the ball and then mitigate a bit of that knee flex. Now, I know that felt extremely bizarre, but this is why I love photos and videos, because it demonstrates feel versus real and proves it. If we look on the right, we have Ben Hogan. In my opinion, probably the greatest golf swing of all time, and he had a really nice setup position. So this yellow circle here is indicating a little bit of space in between his hands and his thighs at address, just like you in the middle. So a much improved position there that will set you up to make a better golf swing. And just to show you, it's not just Ben Hogan. I have Tiger Woods in the far right in his prime. Similar pattern, some spacing in between the hands and the thighs, standing a bit farther away from the ball. Looks akin to you in the middle, which is a dramatic improvement from the before photo on the left. The next slide here with the photos continuing, I wanted to show you the top of the golf swing, the position. So you probably heard me use terminology such as across the line or forearm rotation. Really what I was trying to accomplish here is get you in a position that you're on plane, meaning you're making a swing that does not require compensations to come down and hit the ball straight. So check this out with the before photo on the left. This blue arrow proves that your club is pointing well into right field, as we can see. And then the red arrow is showing that your right elbow is pulled very far behind you. So when you're off plane like that, in order to hit the ball well, a compensation is required in the downswing, and I just don't think you'll be as consistent as the images in the middle and the right. So if we look at the image in the middle, I did that drill with you with the ball in between the arms, working on rotating your forearms so that way the club is a bit more laid off. So as you can see here, from here you could just bring the club right back down and hit the ball. You don't have to really alter the path as much. Right elbow's in great shape. Again, very, very nice. And then Ben Hogan on the right, just to show you the similarity here. And once again, Tiger Woods. Similar position, right elbow down, club a bit more into left field. Even though they are several generations apart, different eras, a lot of similarities in their fundamentals as I've studied their swings. All right, just a couple more to go before I actually play the video of you specifically. What I thought I would do is show you Fred Funk. The reason being is he is somewhere in your age bracket, and I don't care if someone's 65 years old or 25 years old, there are going to be a lot of similar patterns with the core fundamentals. So if we watch Fred, the yellow line is what we call the plane line. And really the objective is to trace that on the way back, at least initially. He's underneath it just a smidge, but he's parallel here, and then again our topic of discussion at the very, we'll call it the pinnacle of the backswing or the apex. So he's pointing that club not across the line. It's not really all that laid off, but you can see it's pointing right down towards the flag stick, which is just fine, as his right elbow is pointing down. And then in transition, parallel to the plane line, just a very simple and repeatable golf swing. And then one more before I show you your swing. This is Hogan. Again, probably my favorite swing. Takeaway is going to go right up the yellow line. There's that position at the top, a bit more laid off. And then he will come down into impact perfectly on the plane line. So again, this is just simpler than to lift that elbow way up and have that club pointed in right field, because there's less motion required to come down and hit the ball straight. So let's go ahead and look at your swing specifically. Now, Frank, if we look at your swing from down the line, this is the before swing, just to show you the plane. So you really have a solid takeaway. You can't really criticize that. Looks really nice. Great looking position here. Again, it's just at the top here is when that elbow pulls behind you. So I may have exaggerated a bit. It's not like it's way behind you, but we'll call that parallel to the ground, right? And then the club's over here. If we were to pull up John Daly, I mean, his elbow is like pointed way up in the sky. Same thing with Furyk. But again, you can see that, ideally at the top, I like to have the club maybe pointed this way, just to be simpler that way. On the way down, as you can see, you're a bit steep right here. So if I draw a line, you're vertical of the plane line, the yellow plane line there. So being a bit steep, you have to continue shallowing to come back and hit the ball. And with that club face being a little bit closed with perhaps a strong grip, that would make sense on a slight out to in swing path as to why your miss would be left. So let's take a peek at the aftermath. All right, so here's after we did some drills, and again, that setup looks so much better to me. Let's take you back. Really nice takeaway. In fact, this takeaway looks better than the one we just played, actually. Probably just a result of the posture. Superb position there. Parallel to the plane line here. And pretty darn good at the top. So again, to me, this position looks way better. And then I would say right about here. Yeah, you're parallel to the plane again. So more efficient. You're coming down on a better plane. That ball is going to fly dead straight. You can see it taking off here. This was just a wedge, but very, very nice work. So that ball in between the arms, doing the paused repetitions and just hitting into a net, having a camera, if you're ever working alone, I think is an advantage. So that way you can get some feedback and check some of these positions. So awesome job. The only other comment, I know we talked a little bit about the left-hand grip. If you find that the ball, Frank, is going too far to the right, or you start fading it when you're not intending to, you can always experiment with that grip, making it a little bit stronger again. So anyways, thank you so much. Very well done, and look forward to hearing how your journey continues.